Alright, it's very possible that I've been streaming for the last 30 seconds, but I haven't gotten a good sense of when YouTube saying I'm live actually means I'm live because I'm going through another broadcast software. So, such is life. But here we go. As an explanation for what's going on here, as you can see in front of me, I have a Lego Snowspeeder. Ultimately, my goal is to stream the building of the UCS Star Destroyer. Problem is, it's a big set, huge long process. If it's anything like the Millennium Falcon, which I built a couple of months ago, it'll take me about 24 hours to do the full build. So I want to run some test builds, play with some camera angles, see what looks good, see how the results of the stream turn out, practice putting together time lapses, things like that. So for tonight, you're going to get a Snowspeeder. This is a much smaller set than the Snowspeeder I have off to the side here, um, but it has some cool little tricks that the other one doesn't, which is actually kind of a surprise given this is supposed to be the ultimate collector's series Snowspeeder. Looks like this one's got the grappling hook that you see them use to take down the AT-ATs, comes with 3 minifigures, Luke Skywalker, Dak Ralter, and a Snowtrooper, as well as an E-Web heavy repeating blaster cannon. So, we're gonna give this a shot. Crack the thing open real fast. Of course, I make a fool of myself doing even that simple task. Looks like 3 bags of parts. They even number these parts. So with the UCS sets, we get numbered bags because there are thousands of parts. I'm a little surprised to find that even a simple set has numbered bags, but hey, it makes life easy. So I will set bags 2 and 3 aside, grab one of these nifty little medical trays that have been a huge help for my Lego builds, and we will get cracking. So, fair warning, I am listening to music in my headset. I'm not going to subject everybody to the music I'm listening to. I've conveniently left no background music, so if you want to listen to music of your own, feel free. I'm listening to an old a cappella group from one of the colleges in my home state of Oregon called On the Rocks. They played at my high school when I was younger, fell in love with them, still have some of their old albums laying around. So, what is this? Don't normally see these in Lego builds. This is, it is the string for the grappling hook. That's kind of cool. So, toss this aside. Oh, yeah, instructions on how to open the box that contains the instructions. How very helpful. So looks like we'll start building the cockpit, build the 2 wings, slam everything together. But we start with Luke Skywalker. Lightsaber. And I guess they gave us an extra lightsaber hilt. I won't complain about that. But I need to find his pants. There we go. There we go. Luke Skywalker. We'll set this guy up here for now. And we start with the E-Web. Let's take a little radar dish. And a dot. Then on top of the dot, it's a weird little boxy thing. This looks like it belongs in an Indiana Jones set. Do they make Indiana Jones Lego sets? I don't even know. I just stick to the Star Wars stuff. If I started getting Lego sets that I thought looked cool left and right, I would never stop, and I would never have money. Probably wouldn't have a place to live anymore. There we go. Then we need to make 3 little antennas. They come pre-built. I remember these in the past you just get a little antenna and the doohickey part, and you'd have to put them together. I guess I'm showing my age. Did I flip that around? I flipped that around. So, out the back. Then antenna number 1. Antenna number 2. And... oh, nope, did that wrong. Goes out there. And antenna number 3. There we go. Now, I remember these parts from Camera Crew Lego sets from when I was a kid, so I always call these cameras. And we need a little grippy piece, which I suspect will be in this thing of little pieces, but I don't see it. This is my big worry with the Star Destroyer. With this, there's a lot of white pieces, there's some gray, there's some tan, some red and yellow that you probably won't see on the finished model, so they can make it a weird color. Ah, here we go. With the Star Destroyer, everything is going to be gray. There's a joke in one of the Legends books that a smuggler named Booster Tarek gets his hands on a Star Destroyer and doesn't like the fact that it's the same gray that every other Star Destroyer is, and tries to find some way to get it repainted. But the only paint that's produced in the galaxy in the quantities that he needs is, you guessed it, Star Destroyer gray. Eventually, he finds a way to get it painted red, which may spoil something for some people who are probably not watching this channel, but so he does end up getting a different colored Star Destroyer in the end, but gray is the most common color in the universe, it seems. And then we need a handle back here. Brown bar. Another little radar dish. This one's a gray. There we go, right in front of my face. And then a cylinder in black. Probably going to be the barrel of the E-Web. And this is a Technic piece. And we'll put this onto the end of the camera. Hey, look at that. So 1 and 2 2x1s. Oh, that's 2 different steps. I'm being an idiot. Okay. So here we go. Another one of the little nubs. And a grill on top. Ah. So anybody who's watching The Mandalorian recalls seeing the E-Web with its little power block. Guess a stormtrooper has to have it mounted, but a Mandalorian can just pick it up and shoot everybody with it, because that makes total sense. So, Snowspeeder proper now. 2x3, right in the middle of that. Big plate, boom. Now, oh, that's an interesting piece. I don't think I've ever seen that before. A couple of spots on the Falcon where we ended up with this same sort of design, but it was done by putting 2 smaller pieces side by side, which is kind of surprising. You'd think the fancy Falcon set would have the fancy version of the piece, but yeah, no such luck. There were enough pieces. I'm fine with not having one or two fancy ones. Couple of red squares. I'm gonna guess these won't be seen because they are completely the wrong color scheme. I do appreciate them doing that, as I made a mistake. Bend the plate a little bit to pop these off. It's supposed to go one further out, and then a black 2x1 in the middle there. So anyway, as I was saying, I do appreciate that when you can't see a piece on the final build, they'll give it to you in a weird color. Just makes it so much easier to identify stuff. So we avoid the problem of, like in the Star Destroyer's case, everything is gray. There we go. Okay. Two of these and a little angle-y piece. Alright, who wants to take bets on whether or not this is a backrest? Yeah. No takers? Yeah, I figured. Okay, where are we at now? Another 2x1. And let's not mess this one up. Then 2x1 with a single connector on it. I don't know what to call any of these pieces. I just make up names for them as I see them. You go on official LEGO forums and they're like, oh, this is a 2x4 flat brick with 4 pips, and I don't know. I just do this for fun. Two little angle pieces. I sincerely doubt it, but were in 6 months I to become extremely famous for having done this. I wonder how many people are going to come back and watch this video and laugh at me. And then these guys. I'm going to guess these are part of connecting the wings to the final model. Two copies of this. So and a black 2x1. Butt it right up against that. And yep. There we go. Success. Two more of these guys. Yep. Clip, clip. I'll take this guy. Another one of these fancy pieces. Okay, if they're good enough for the cheap Snowspeeder set, why aren't they good enough for the Falcon? Now I am jealous. And plates. Angle plates off the back. Four little dots. I guess I probably shouldn't call these dots, because dots would be the round ones. Again, back to, I don't really care what these pieces are called. They go in a spot. I put them in the spot. Two really long white bricks. They're gonna secure everything here. And it looks like they go out one past. Yeah. That feels a little weird. It's kind of a corner there. Click. And a red square. This guy out in front. And oh, let's not lose pieces, especially not the really small ones. Although, another thing that LEGO is really good at, for small pieces that you use over and over again in a set, they always give you extras. Even if there wasn't an extra one of that in this set, I'm reasonably confident that if I went through all of the other UCS sets I've put together, I would find an extra one somewhere. So it looks like we're making 2 more backrests. Although one of them might end up being a control panel. Looks like there's a space between the two. Oh, that's upside down. Success. Alright. So we'll take that hinge and put a white 2x1 with 1 pip. There we go. And there's the hinge. I figure this will be the cockpit door. So, corner angle piece. A couple of the upward grabby things. That's a different upward grabby thing. Here we go. And a flat gray panel. Ooh, that kind of fits in a weird spot, doesn't it? Huh. Another one of those flat gray panels. Ooh, so this is my least favorite part of LEGO sets, is stickers. Oh, and that's even worse. So normally on the UCS sets, you'll have numbers on the stickers here, and it'll tell you what number in the instruction booklet. This just says, oh, there happens to be a sticker. Hope you can figure out which one it is. You can see the picture of it right there. And I think that's this one. And it looks like there's a tow cable in that picture, so makes sense that this is the rear gunners. But like, with Legos, one of my favorite things is I can screw up. And if I screw up, you know what I do? Pull it apart and put it back together. If I screw up on a sticker like I just did, there's only so many times you can yank that thing up before it's too damaged to do it again. Like that, I'm not even terribly happy with, but that'll do, pig. 2 4x1s. So these are going to secure everything here. And then a couple of these things, kind of like vents or grates or something. Oh, another sticker. Great. Cross that. 2 2x1 plates. Or panels. And another sticker. And yet again, have to guess which it wants me to be putting there. But it looks like it's this targeting one. Let's see if I can't do a better job getting this one on. That one's better. So we finish off the cockpit up here. This guy sits up here to nobody's surprise. Four of these. There's two. Oh, it's only two of these. That makes significantly more sense. And then these shelves. And there we go. These are some sort of hinge. So, it looks like this is the hinge for the cockpit, which means this piece here, is this what the tow cable is going to attach to? That's kind of cool. Get some pivot on the tow cable. Alright, now a whole bunch of grates. So, at the end of this video, once I'm finished building this, I have sitting next to me, as you can see, the Ultimate Collector's Series version of this kit. Right now we're just putting some grates on the back of this, and it's going to create the sort of engine look. Let me tell you, putting this together for the UCS version was a huge pain. It was a just very precisely stacked set of tiny little pieces to get a really cool effect, and I'll show you what it looks like when I bring that one out. But that little piece took me about an hour on the big set. Looks like I missed a sticker back here somewhere. Ah, so there's a sticker there. There is no instruction to put the sticker down. Thanks, Lego. Okay, that is this one. Okay. This is the first time I've had to put stickers down for something that wasn't a UCS set, which is probably a good thing. So now we build the tow cable. Oh, they don't actually make you tie it. That's real nice. Trying to tie a knot in this tiny little thing would be a huge pain. So, string. And it wants it to go in and through. There we go. Come on. Come on. There we go. And then we've got a Technic bar in here that's going to hold it in place. How brilliant is that? And then a couple of these here. So get some good grip to wind this up. Let's get this off. And I do have to tie it on the grappling hook. Well, couldn't get out of all of it. Okay. I do like that they kind of cauterize the end of this, so it's not fraying at all. They show you this picture of a really nice little knot. It's like, no, nope, that ain't happening. We are going to settle for passable here. Nope. As I say that, it's not even passable. Click. Let's double knot it so it doesn't come apart this time. Come on. There we go. There we go. That'll work. And then this little guy. This feels kind of like a weird piece to have hanging off the grappling hook, but okay. Maybe it's so it can connect to things. instead of just having to hook onto them, as it gets hooked onto the edge of the desk and the edge of the instructions. Success. Okay, now this attaches to the back of the Snowspeeder. Success. Flip it over. Adding some feet, probably the equivalent of landing gear. Put one in the middle here. And flip it right back over. And guess what we got? More stickers. This one will go on this side. Ruining a perfectly good, clear element. I think that's what they call bricks, is elements. By putting stickers over the window. That's not great, but it'll do. Okay, so we're going to start with this flat panel, add a 2x3, add a button, and another button, 2x1, and a couple of hinge pieces. Oh, so it has it already on. No more stickers. Woo! Hey, look at that. So another one of those dishes. I see. So this lets it be put down at an angle. It doesn't really pivot much. It's just to angle an element. They often do some weird stuff to make that sort of thing work well. In the UCS sets especially, they have some really fancy build work that lets you get slopes and curves and things that you don't normally associate with Legos. Oh, I gotta put the trigger in this before I put it together. Yes, there is a trigger mechanism. This comes with a little blaster that'll actually blast things. Pew! Oh, lost that one. Luckily, they give you 5 of them. I'll go dig that up later. So, there's a blaster. Supposedly, it says that... Oh, okay, that's what this is for. So if I pull this out, I can attach this to here, and pew! Oh, great. So, note to self, don't yank too hard. I'm just going to tie this down so that doesn't happen again. Can I tie it down? If I tie it down, it's going to stop it from twisting. I need to have an eye. Nope. Best laid plans, I guess. Let's give it a little more slack to grip on, though. Okay. There we go. This is back together. Let's see how this works now that it can get some range. Yep. Alright. Pew! That's kind of cool. Again, if they can do this with the cheap version, why can't they do it with the UCS version? Oh well. I'm wondering if I can't adapt the tow line that's on this model to the UCS model somehow. That would be kind of cool. We'll bear some investigating. But for the time being, we should probably finish the model we're working on. So let's get this tow cable wound back up. And it looks like we are done with step 1. Success! Set this guy off to the side. We have a bunch of extra parts. Thank you, Lego. And we'll move on to step 2. This, bag of little parts. And it looks like this is going to give us the Snow Trooper to put with the E-Web. Angry Face. Rawr. Oh, he needs a backpack piece. And he has his own little cloth piece. Look at that. Let's find his pants. There we go. Looks like pants get slid in here and twisted around there. Kind of gives him a little snowsuit that you see in Empire Strikes Back. Sure. Cool. And then he gets a little piece on his backpack. And a little blaster. And we'll put him with his E-Web. Alright, now back to the Snowspeeder. And a plate. A big wing. Oh, that's an interesting piece. Oh, it's the spring-loaded launcher. We'll get to that in a minute. 2x1. Oh, it's the wrong piece. Here we go. Then a dot goes all the way up here. Red piece. You know, there were a surprising amount of these sort of red maroon elements with the Falcon. You take a look at the Falcon in any of the movies, and there's a ton of rust on that, well, rust bucket. It's really cool how the set portrayed that, as opposed to just being a uniform gray. The more of these UCS sets that I put together, the more impressed I am with the folks that designed them at LEGO. It's kind of like the dream job as a kid, but I couldn't imagine figuring all of that out. I rely on the instructions. Okay. Couple little wings. 1 and 2. And then a really little wing. One and 2. And then here. And a corner piece of some sort. That's not it. Here we go. This will sit back here. Probably have some sort of engine piece on it at the end. Another one of those hidden red squares that just doesn't matter. And this is probably going to hold the front half of the engine that then has the blaster cannon coming off of it. Angly piece. Big, long... I don't know what to call these. They've got a rail on them. There are some sets where those will actually be like tracks that things can slide along. Looks like they're just detail pieces in this set, though. And 3 of the 2x1s with the 1 dot. 1, 2, 3. Get some color in there. I say get some color in there as I put down gray bricks. But some contrast, the gray and the white. That's an interesting looking little piece. I'm sure it has existed somewhere, but I've never used it before. Oh, forgot to put this piece down first. So, boom. And boom. And there's a plate. Okay. Yep, we're going to build this piece of that engine. So, a little ribbed cylinder. And this wheel hub thing. And click. Success. Then I guess this is going to be the supports for the blaster cannon itself. And hey, what do you know? Click. Success. I should probably stop saying success every time I successfully put a piece down, but... Oh. I have that backwards. Yeah, it looks about right. Oh no, stickers. Okay, so one of these grills goes up top. There we go. And then looks like a heat vent. And there we go. And I need one of these covers. Two of these plates. Oh, upside down. This is how it's going to connect to the side of that. So let's make sure we get this lined up right. Looks like lined up here and one step back. Yep. Ooh, another piece on this side. Ah, sad baby icon. It's gonna be the blaster cannon. Yep. Here's that piece. And once it flipped like this, stuck down to the bottom there. Okay. So now it's got a flicky blaster thing. Then the flap. I don't know what these flaps are supposed to be for. Relieving engine heat? When you watch Wedge use it in Empire Strikes Back, it almost feels like it's a communications thing. When he's sending transmissions talking about looking for Luke, the flap pops up and then it closes. Who knows? I most certainly don't. But here we go. Ah, it looks like they don't connect to these. These help set the angle so they don't flop around too much. So if we come under here, this should fit between and click. And yep, that angle is set. It can't flop down. So we get the good Snowspeeder angle. Cool. I'm going to guess, hey, look. There's a lot of pieces there that I didn't end up using any of, which has me question if I missed something. It's like, I didn't use any of this at all. Let's see if I missed something. Oh, I see. I missed something on the Snowtrooper. Instead of this little backpack piece, come on. He's supposed to have this guy here. When you look at the stormtroopers, looks like they have the little bedrolls or something hanging at their backs. That's what that's supposed to be. Or like a holster for his blaster. Not really, no. But we'll use it as such and give him his E-web. Have his hands backwards. There we go. Oh, and I guess this is supposed to be the tripod. Interesting. There we go. Cool. Now we can move forward to step 3, the final stage of the process. More little pieces. And we start with Dak Ralter. Dak unfortunately dies at the beginning of Empire Strikes Back. Sorry, spoilers. I think I've well and truly passed the statute of limitations on spoilers for The Empire Strikes Back. But if you disagree, I apologize. Never turn my channel on again. Not that you would probably want to anyway. I suspect these videos are going to be significantly more interesting when I upload the time lapses, because this is just me talking as I put pieces together, and nobody wants to listen to that for, well, when the Star Destroyer comes around 23 hours. God, what am I going to say for 23 hours? Well, cross that bridge when we come to it. Second wing. And little tiny wing again. So basically we're just going to do exactly what we did last time, mirrored. So this one should be significantly faster because I understand exactly what they're expecting of me. We do this a lot with the UCS sets. We build one side of a ship and then build the other. And since those are much more complicated builds, the other half goes significantly faster as I try and as the first time I have to spend a bunch of time figuring out, okay, this goes exactly here, and the goal of this piece is that, and such and such. This is a simple enough build that probably won't get a lot of extra time zooming through the second than I did on the first, but we'll see. Medium wings. And the really small wing. And we're back here with the little rails. And the mount for the engine. And random gray brick number 17. Red. Random gray brick number 18. And the other forward engine mount. See, now I feel like I'm racing against myself to prove, oh yeah, what I said really does make sense, I promise. Trying to zip through, get it all done, seem impressive. It's a Lego set. I mean... These three. Click, click, click. Did I do that right? Looks like I messed something up somewhere. See? This is the problem with rushing. Aha! I have this flipped around. There we go. Let's try not to make the same joke about color and contrast here while we put down these gray and white bricks. Otherwise we'll really be getting deja vu. Flip. Gonna build the other piece of the engine. Success. Oh, I did it again. Sorry, guys. And to the inside of the wing, to the outside of the wing. Did I do that last time? Or is this wing asymmetrical? Looks like that did not happen last time, so asymmetrical wing. Sweet. So this panel goes here. And the grippy thing for the end of the cannon. And the cannon with the flare for the nozzle. Doo-doo-doo. Great. Stickers. I was excited as I was about the asymmetrical wing. The fact that the asymmetry comes with stickers? Yeah, I'm not a fan of that. And then get this grill back on. And then... flip it over. We're going to build this guy again. That looks right, right? You guys can tell. Sure. There's an extra sticker here. And I'm reasonably confident I know where it goes. But I think it's another one where they don't bother telling me to put it there. Oh, yep. They did, and I just didn't see it. Okay. There we go. No more stickers. Can't complain about that anymore. I'll have to find something else to complain about. Build another blaster. So there we go. This one actually wants me to put a blaster bolt in it, so click. Okay, I see. We'll put these in later so they don't accidentally go off. Alright. And that communications flap again. Oh, yep, connect here. Look at that. We have a Snowspeeder. nothing more doing. So, this is a much quicker build than something like one of the UCS sets will ever be. This was done in 3 parts. Each UCS part will take longer than this whole set build. In the past, the UCS sets I've built have had anywhere from 12 to 14 parts for the smaller ones. I think the Falcon had like 40. It's really long build time. But we'll take a look at this guy. Nice little model, actually. I'm pretty impressed with how much detail they got into it. A lot of that was the stickers, which I was complaining about earlier. The little flick blasters are kind of cool. I'm not a huge fan of them on sets because generally the way they're placed takes away from the design aesthetic of the set. This is supposed to be the Snowspeeder from Empire Strikes Back. These are the blaster cannons for the Snowspeeder, not things attached to the bottom of the ship. But they're obtrusive here. On something like the TIE Silencer, they're just right in the middle of your face. I don't like it. Cockpit is nice. Looks like we can fit both folks in here, so let's set Luke Skywalker's lightsaber aside. Get him in there. And lay him back. Set Dak's blaster aside. If only Dak knew this was the last time he was ever going to get into a cockpit. Oh, looks like Dak has to go in first. Oof. That is a tight fit. I'm claustrophobic. I would not be a good Snowspeeder pilot. Can't even see Dak's face. Yep. There we go. The launchable hook is a nice little touch. Ultimately, I'm happy with it, especially since it was a free set. I traded some extra Pokemon stuff I had for it. Now, if we want to do a quick comparison, because I have you for a few more minutes until you decide to turn this off, here is the fancy one. Obviously, there's a lot more room for detail on a set this size. But you can see a lot of the same elements are pretty faithfully recreated. You've got the blaster cannon tied to the engine here with the same sort of shape in the back. You can see all the stickers here. Trust me, I was as frustrated by these stickers as I was by the ones of the little one. Obviously, the cannon is significantly longer for the bigger ship. The cockpit on this pops up the same way, though there's a little bit more space in there. So if we want to grab Luke, move him to the other one. Yeah, it's like the seats are too big for minifigures. This is not minifigure scale. So that might be something that this set actually does better. The Snowspeeders are actually really small. You've got blaster cannon back here with a lot more detail in that. This is the piece that I'd like to maybe incorporate the grappling hook from this set here. Get this launcher over here, find some way to do that. This is probably not going to come across really well on the stream. But if I flip this set up, there is a computer in here that when you turn the blaster, it actually turns. Yep. You might be able to hear my Alexa going off. I said the computer word, and my Alexa responds to that. So I'll have to remember not to do that in the future. But yeah, cool little piece of Lego engineering here. When you turn the blaster cannon, the control panel actually turns. Close this guy up. Promised I'd talk about this. If you look back here, this grading here, this set took an hour, hour and a half. There are panels here that are split up between tons of tiny little parts to get really nice fine detail in there. Compare that to just some grading pieces stuck on the back here. But some corners have to be cut for a set this small. The really cool thing I like about the big fancy set, so we were talking a little bit about whatever these flaps were for engine heat, possibly, though how you would have an engine heat problem on Hoth, I don't know. Communications, who knows what. But just little flaps here on this set. On this, if you actually turn the engine, it turns the flap. And both of them do that. And there's actually a surprising amount of detail. Again, probably hard to see with the webcam, but inside those engine compartments, there's quite a bit of detail in there. Well, not much more to say, since this is supposed to be building the little Snowspeeder, not showing off the big fancy Snowspeeder. Let's get this guy back up on his stand. Another thing that the little Snowspeeder lacks is a stand, but again, I can forgive them that. So, after about an hour, we have an extra little Snowspeeder. I'm going to go over this video, see how the quality is, see if the camera angles work pretty well. I have another small set that I'm going to build probably tomorrow, and I'm going to use a long camera angle on that, set it at table height, going across the table, see if that works better. That might actually work better for the Star Destroyer too, because of how much the Star Destroyer builds up. I'm worried about losing camera angle and not being able to see all of the work that's going on. It's like the bottom of the Star Destroyer is almost as tall as the Snowspeeder itself, and then it goes up another 10 inches on that. So we'll see what happens when we get there. And then for this video, I will go create a time lapse and see how that ends up looking. I figure the time lapse will be more interesting than actually watching the build happen. But if anybody sat and watched, thank you for coming by. Have a good night.